Some will say that the RM of Corman Park has Saskatoon in the middle of it, and others say Saskatoon is surrounded by the province's largest rural municipality. In that is the police chief, Ron Chomyn, who's been at the helm for over a year now, and invited him on the show today to give us a little bit of insight into himself and how he got to be the top job at the RM of Corman Park Police Service. Thanks for taking time.
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about Ron Chomyn and how he got involved in policing, I guess, a number of years ago now. I won't say how many, but what was it that drew you into police service in general?
I don't know if there was one thing in particular. I know that when, even when I was a little guy in grade school, I was a safety patroller, and the Saskatoon Police had someone dedicated to that program, and I was just very impressed with him and the whole idea of helping people and doing that, and yeah, it just never wavered from there, and I pursued that through high school, knowing that that's the direction I wanted to go. Got a post-secondary education in criminal justice, and was very fortunate to start quite young. I started in the city of Estevan for a couple of years before transferring up to Saskatoon, and retired from Saskatoon Police in 2005, and spent the next 16 years at the Canadian Pacific Police Service, probably one of the best kept policing secrets in Canada. Both CN and CP have their own dedicated police services, and that was a very just very rewarding from a personal perspective, and also just in development wise, as far as you're actually policing for a business, which was different. And I think that set me up pretty good for the Corman Park position, because the RM is dealing in millions and millions of dollars in building permits and commercial and residential buildings, as well as the schools in the area. So to me, Corman Park is a business, and I think my experience at Canadian Pacific Police is helping me.
I'm aware of your past in the Saskatoon Police Service, in particular with the K9 unit. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like and what drew your passion for the dogs?
Sure. And it is odd, because I never had a dog growing up never as a pet or anything like that. But once I did start policing, a couple of the shifts that I was on, the dog handlers periodically would ask for volunteers to lay a track for their dog, training track, or hide in a building at night, or just to keep that dog's skills honed up. And I just was really impressed with the level of training, and it just really piqued my interest as something that I wanted to do. So I continued that for about 4 years once I got to Saskatoon, and then had the opportunity in 1988 to get my first dog. And after my first dog needed to be retired, I did want to work a second one, and I put forward to the chief at the time that I'd like to train my own dog, because I thought we were capable of having our own training program at Saskatoon Police Service. Previous to that, we would either go to the RCMP kennels in Innisfail, or we would hire an instructor from a private firm to come in and do the training for us. And it just seemed like there's probably better ways to spend our money than that, and have some ownership of our own program. So I trained that second dog, and they sent me to Edmonton to get validated. Edmonton had a very good police dog service at the time, their own unit. And so I spent a couple weeks in Edmonton and was validated, and came back, and that was kind of the start of the Saskatoon Police Service's K9 program, in-house program. And still carries on to this day. So
very highly regarded, and comes under the tongue of good rapport, I might say. So
yeah,
glad to see that.
And what we were doing back then compared to the level of training and expertise, and what those dogs are doing now, and the handlers, it's, I guess, pioneering kind of is the best term for me. Is someone's got to break the ground, and I'm glad we were given the opportunity to do that. We had some really really supportive chiefs and executive officers during my time there. Dave Scott was probably one of the best leaders that I've had the pleasure of working for, and he was very supportive of that program. So yeah, it does take takes support at all levels.
So now you're the chief of the RM of Corman Park.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
And we have a massive area that you'd be responsible for. So is it just you? Do you work with the Saskatoon Police and the RCMP, or are you pretty independent on your own?
No, we are very team oriented. All the agencies in the area, and you're right. It's the RM itself is 800 square miles, and both the Saskatoon detachment and Warman RCMP detachments are part of the RM. With Saskatoon,
those are the RCMP that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So north of the river, and that would be the Warman detachment's responsibility. But Warman and Saskatoon detachments also have larger areas outside of the RM, so it's imperative to have that relationship. And we're fortunate enough we can communicate with each other. We hear when there's a call out there that we might be closer to than them and be able to handle, or we can support them as backup. Provide whatever assistance we can at major incidents or highway accidents. That it's teamwork, and to me, I've always been a proponent of when an emergency happens and you need people to step up. It really doesn't matter what color the stripe is on your pants or what service you're from. Police are police, and in those times, we work well with Saskatoon Police Service. Air One is a great asset. Risk reduction wise with pursuits, having them in the air, where we aren't endangering the public or ourselves by having to pursue vehicles at high rates of speed. So there's everybody brings something to the table. We have a really strong knowledge base of our RM. We know where some of the problems are and who the players are, and we're able to share that through our intel officer with all the other agencies in the area. So there is a lot more going on than writing tickets, and we really started this year. One of the things that I'm really proud of is we've become almost a part of the South Corman Park School. We right from skating with them in the winter, doing bike safety days. We've participated in their Remembrance Day ceremony this year. A couple of the members have really taken that under their wing, and I know the teachers and principal and staff out there, and the kids enjoy having the members out there. So
it's a good opportunity maybe to set the record straight and clarify that Estevan Police or the Corman Park Police Service, you're not just bylaw enforcement officers, you're not security officers, you're sworn police officers with apparatus that is equivalent to the Saskatoon Police Service, for that matter, with body cameras, etc. Are you focused on some things this winter time, any summertime? Is it seasonal with drunk driving, for example? You work with other agencies to focus on safe roadways, for example.
Absolutely. And I'll answer the first part of your question right off the top. So every member at our agency goes through the exact same training at the Saskatchewan Police College that Saskatoon Police or Regina Police or any municipal police officer does. So we are trained in exactly the same manner. We fall under the guidelines of the Saskatchewan Police Act. And all of the documentation and as far as use of force guidelines that any other municipal police officer does. So we do have an order in council right now where our focus isn't so much on criminal code incidents, although we respond to them as either a primary or backup unit. But when it comes to further investigation, those files are turned over to the RCMP. I think that there's an opportunity there to take some of the workload off by having our members, for example, look after property crimes in the RM, and I think that's beneficial to all the agencies. The RCMP are busy enough if we can take off some of their workload, and it allows us to become even more just know where our problem areas are, and if we need to pay some extra attention from directed patrols or however it is to an area that might be seeing an increase in thefts or property crimes. So, but yes, we are exactly the same as any other municipal police service. As far as programs, then I know we focus heavily on impaired driving, and the SGI is a major partner, providing us with resources and equipment to combat that. And the Van der Vorst Awards are given out annually now, for officers, recognizing officers who just kind of spearhead that fight against impaired driving. I was very proud of our officers. We had 7 members this year receive the Van der Vorst Award for removing impaired drivers off the roads, that is a big focus of ours. We partner with MAD regularly. We just did a check stop here, I think on November the 12th, or it might have been the one before that, in October, where MAD volunteers came out and took part in that, and just trying to get that message across a little, is that the best result we could ever have at an impaired driving check stop is zeros, and that's what we strive for. But I'm glad you brought that up. It's the season, parties, Christmas parties, staff parties. I encourage people, either through Operation Red Nose or whatever they call it, for arranging a safe ride home. There's just no reason anymore to put not only yourself at risk, but everybody else out there. And I can guarantee you that not only our agency, but the RCMP and the City Police, we will be out there, and we will be conducting check stops regularly throughout the Christmas season. So, just don't risk it. Don't take the chance, because that's something that we don't want to see, as somebody's Christmas end in tragedy.
Point well taken. Obviously, if there's an emergency, we would call 911, but if people did want to get a hold of you at the RM of Corman Park Police Service, what would they do? Yeah,
our office number is 306-242-8808. We do have an admin staff that works there. We're open Monday to Friday, regular office hours, and even after that, the phone's forwarded to one of the members. We have members working, throughout the day or night. So if they do call the office and the office staff isn't there, the call will be forwarded to a member. And yeah.
Police Chief Ron Chomyn, Corman Park Police, thanks so much for taking time out.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.